Oh my God! Dreams come true! Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How y'all doing? Come on in and sit on down. We got a, what I like to think is a very respectable video today as we put on our tap shoes and we dance down memory lane together and look at some of the old tunes that I've done. I figured, you know what, why not give you guys a bit of info on the journey that has been the Meat Canyon channel, how it all started, and kind of just get some insight on these early tunes, which feels like lifetimes have passed since I've made these videos, so it should be nice and cringy for you all and for myself as well. And I just wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by myself. I got a new merch store, meatcanyon.store. Go ahead and flash on the screen so in case anybody has epilepsy, they throw into a nice seizure fit. All right, meatcanyon.store. Click that link. We got new pieces of cloth to drape over your beautiful body because God is jealous of your beautiful succulent skin. So go buy yourself some cloth and, you know, get your drip on. I'm not an old man, I promise. Our journey begins in California. I've said this before in the past, but I'm actually from Kansas City, Missouri. I ventured out to California to try to work in the animation industry. The brutal and quick reality of this is that I was homeless very quickly. I had a Dodge Caliber that I took to LA with me. So I was homeless and I was in Carlsbad, California, and I would commute up to LA and act like I lived there so I could DM animators in the industry on Instagram and be like, hey man, I'm like up near North Hollywood. Would you want to grab a drink? But I had to drive 3 hours to go do that every time. So I was working at Walmart Photo Center, which is usually where I slept, was Walmart. And then I would pour concrete, you know, do like odd end construction jobs, just trying to make by. But at night, I would have my giant Cintiq, my 24-inch Cintiq on my lap, and I bought a power strip, and my Dodge Caliber had a wall outlet to where you could plug in electronic devices. And I would plug in my Cintiq and my laptop, and I would make this tune. So this cartoon Magic Man, I probably made this like 2 months after college. The day we graduated, I moved 3 days later. So it was like, I think it took me like 9 weeks or something along those lines to make this tune really quickly. And I didn't really know anybody in Carlsbad, so I would just work on this. It does have a very special place in my heart. It's not the first cartoon I've ever made, but it was officially, I think, the actual first video I ever posted to the Meat Canyon YouTube page. So there's that. Moving on, years later, I was homeless for a while, moved back home, and I started working on It's Hard to Convince Anakin Skywalker. This one I want to talk about because I remember when I was making this, it's like super Oni inspired, like changing faces and all that kind of shit, and I was just super stoked. I had planned on making the entire episode 3 movie, just like reanimating it. I don't know why I would want to do that. I don't know who would want to watch that, but it was like, oh, yeah, that's something I'm gonna do. Never happened. I think I made 6 minutes worth of Star Wars material, and I was like, nah, done with that forever. But this one was interesting because I remember I had made it when I was living back in Kansas City, and then like months passed by. Months and months and months passed by. Enough time to where actually one of the people that I berated in California beforehand said, hey, there's this job. You can work on these animations for like a theme park, this indoor water park thing. If you want to move out to, like, if you're still in LA. And I was like, yeah, I still live in LA. So 2 days later, I drove back to LA and I rented an apartment. But while I was living there, there's like this phone app or a website called ifunny.co. I never watermarked that video. So it got uploaded and it got like 100,000 views, like 1 million views. I can't remember, but it was a lot. And I remember being so devastated. That was like the one time for me to have a chance for me to, like, you know, branch out or like have my big break, and it was stripped from me. So I remember I was extremely devastated by this. It was very crushing. My girlfriend's like, well, just make another one. I'm like, you only get one chance, and then I blew it, you know, that kind of thing. So it was a very emotional time in the Hancock household. These look terrible, by the way. I'm scrolling through here and I'm like, these look awful. Which leads me to this tune called Moon Boy. Moon Boy, at the time, I was living in Utah because, wouldn't you know it again, but when living in LA, couldn't find any work after that fun little animation gig I got, and I went broke again, and I could not move back home. I told myself, I'm like, I'm not fucking moving back. I'm not even gonna tell my mom that I went broke. I'm not gonna tell anybody. I'm just gonna call my buddy who lived in Utah, and I was like, hey, is there any jobs out there? And he was like, yeah, there's a shit ton of like solar panel jobs. I moved to this small town outside of Salt Lake City called Orem, Utah, and I worked at a solar panel company, and that was pretty lame. Not a good time either. I made Moon Boy because I fucking hated my job. I was just like so fed up, but I was still making cartoons, mostly for Instagram. So all the stuff I made was like a minute long because Instagram lets you post up to 60 seconds. I made friends with this guy at the solar panel place, and he was a little song boy. And he came over one day, we recorded the audio, and I made this cartoon. It was like one of my first, I would say, big breaks in the grand scheme of things, because this Moon Boy cartoon was the thing that caught the eye of this company in New York that was working on a Facebook Watch show. And you're probably wondering, what's Facebook Watch? And that's what everybody else was wondering. But it gave me the opportunity to work in Bushwick, Brooklyn, in New York, and work at an animation studio on a show with a bunch of artists that I liked on Instagram and stuff, so it was cool. And it gave me the excuse to like move again, quit this job I didn't like, and try to, I don't know, make something else of myself in New York. But New York was pivotal. It was pivotal! One of the producers for the show was a woman named Lauren, who also has a YouTube channel called L Cartoons, which is a storytime animation channel. And the biggest thing that I remember her telling me was, she was like, I should have capitalized on my video going viral more, because if I would have posted something sooner, I think the algorithm would have pushed my other videos and I could have made something else with it. At the time, I remember sinking that into my brain, being like, oh, that's interesting, that like, if you have something blow up, you should really try to post something immediately afterwards. Little things that, like, I'm sure seem obvious in hindsight, but it's just, yeah, I thought it was an interesting learning experience. So Moon Boy, have a lot to owe for that. The rest of 2018, I just kept making like bullshit stuff here and there. I had this series called Jamal and Rachel. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. It's just two aliens that live in a house. It's very like Beavis and Butthead, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but I was like, oh, but their name is Jamal and Rachel. And I had a video with me throwing up applesauce, and then a video of me spitting up whiskey eggnog all over myself. But then this gets into the turning point of 2019, which 2019, a lot of my cartoons that I made were specifically for Instagram. God damn it if I didn't tell you I was red hot on Instagram. So I was trying to do parody stuff like Avengers Infinity War, and then there's the first Scoob-Doo I did, the Lost Arthur episode. Then it all changed with a little Pinocchio cartoon, When You Wish Upon a Star, Pinocchio parody. Wow, what a title. I was really stoked on A24's list of movies that were coming out, because at that time, Midsummer had just come out, along with like Hereditary and then like The Witch and stuff. It was like this new age renaissance of horror films. I don't really know why I did the Pinocchio thing. I know it was a mixture of those A24 films, and there's that great Billy and Mandy episode where Pinocchio wants to steal, I think, Billy's skin. And I just wanted to do this drawing where it's like he has to consume the soul of like a man to become a real boy. I posted the video, and then I think like a month went by and like nothing. And I remember I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'll upload it to YouTube. The AV Club wrote an article. I don't even know how they found it, but then it got onto Reddit, and it was like blowing up on Reddit. And then I'm not even joking when I say I woke up one day, I think I had 700 subscribers the night before. The next time I checked my dashboard, I had 36,000 subscribers. I was like, what the fuck? And I went and I looked at my Pinocchio video, and it had like 100,000 views. And I remember I was like, oh my God, dreams come true. And then I remember back to New York when Lauren told me, hey, if you have something to strike big, you gotta post something again soon. So that's whenever I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make something in like a week, and I'm gonna upload it again. And that's when the Anti-Vaccination Girls came out. The beautiful Powerpuff Girls parody. I just kept continuing doing the parody stuff until we landed on November of 2019. Almost the end of the year, I did my Ed, Edd n Eddy Jawbreaker video. The Pinocchio video was by far the most viewed video I had, but it was like nowhere near cult-like following than that Ed, Edd n Eddy thing had. It was fucking crazy, man. I mean, I did not expect it to be anything real. I mean, I didn't see, I don't know, like how it was better at all than any of the other videos I had done. I just put more of my inspiration from like Midsummer, especially, very like ethereal and, you know, very ambiguous, of like the 25 cents, you know, kind of thing, and perfection and all that shit. And that stuff is still echo today, which is insane to me, because the video, when I look back at it now, it looks so shitty. I'm like, this video, I remember I animated this so quickly, and I was like trying my best to make the designs unique and stuff, and trying to make it everything. It would look so bad now. but it's fucking insane that I look back and this thing is like still, I'm like almost essentially the backbone to what my channel became. November 18th, it was like a week or so after Jawbreakers hit, I hit 100,000 subscribers, and I looked fresh as hell, and I was all shaky. I was very happy, and I think like a month or two later, I got the silver plaque button that's like 100,000 subscribers with your channel name on it, and I was like, yes, I fucking did it. You know, all that shit. But it was interesting to look back on these and like think about the terrible, shitty bricks that build the foundation to something cool now. I mean, I look at like the stuff we're making now, and it all feels so achievable to like, you know, go above and beyond and make things look great. But it's interesting. I guess I wanted to share this too, because it's like, if you're ever like wanting to start doing things or like start animating, start painting, taking pictures, photography, if you're trying to fucking sculpt, do whatever, it's like you're gonna start off doing shit. I mean, that's just what it is. You are going to take huge piles of shit, and you have to sift through all that shit to find a tiny little sprinkle of gold. I don't know. It just, whenever you start off, you make bad shit. That's just what it is. You make bad shit. It's always terrible. If you're ever thinking to yourself, that was a funny joke, 9 times out of 10, it's not. It's not that funny. That's okay. You should still tell those jokes, and you should like get your voice out there. You should practice. Practice makes perfect. I look at the stuff I make today still, and I'm not happy with it all the time. I think a lot of the times I'm like not pushing myself hard enough to branch out of my comfort zone and do all kinds of shit, but I can like at least visually see that like the system we have now and the narratives that I'm doing, I know are stronger than the things I was doing when I lived like in Utah, when I lived in Portland. But yeah, I just want to talk about the brittle little bricks that built the foundation of this channel. And I guess let me know, if I have to end the video like this, let me know which video from 2019 was your favorite. Was it Jawbreaker? I bet it was. Check out my merch store, meetcanyon.store. Like I said, it's ooh, tasty. Also, before I leave, I forgot to say, I'm gonna be at PAX East in Boston. How do you like them apples? It's a good Will Hunting reference. Just follow my Twitter, Instagram, and I'll keep you posted of where I'm going to be at up there. But yeah, if I meet you up there, yeah, be sure to say hi. I'd love to meet each and every one of you. So be sure to do that. Okay, bye.